there's one country in the world whose military and police marksmen have extensive experience in dealing with hostage takers, it's Israel. A direct outgrowth of that experience is the UMAT, the Ultimate Marksmanship Accuracy MAT, the brainchild of the Carlos Hathcock of Israel, Yosef Z. Fried, who was a veteran of 5 wars and was Israel's national rifle shooting champion in the 1950s. Based upon his extensive combat experience and shooting experience, Zvi Fried had concluded that what interferes more so than any other factor with a shooter in the trying circumstances of a hostage rescue or real-world shooting, it's the psychological and physical stress, which leads to problems with breathing, affecting your shooting, heartbeat, a off-axis trigger pull, and just plain the psychological stress and uncertainty that everything had to be placed in one precise shot. That's why he developed the UMAT. The UMAT is compact, it's lightweight, it's fast to deploy. The UMAT fits on a bench, works well on a car hood where it also provides protection against muzzle blast, fits on all kinds of expedient platforms during an on-scene emergency such as doors or tables that an officer is using for a shooting platform, or as it's most often used, right here on the ground. Now looking at it, you can see that this is a first quality shooting mat, but as well you have the benefits of a mechanical rest for your rifle that allows adjustment for traversing and elevating, and a special curved track in the front built within the foam cell for bipod legs, for traversing those right and left as well. The front half of the UMAT consists of 3 closed foam cells covered by 800 denier nylon. It's 1.5 inches thick, really well padded. What's great about these closed foam cells is that they will not soak up water, so there's no additional weight from water being soaked into it, and there's no transmission of water and dampness to your body while you're laying on it. Furthermore, it's resilient, it has no memory. You may lay on it one way today, and it's not going to take the shape of your body. The front padded portion of the UMAT is approximately 28 inches wide, and it's 1 meter long. For those of you not metrically inclined, that makes it a little over 39 inches. And the back half consists of an extendable ground sheet that adds another 1 meter in length and flares out to provide some protection to your legs, whether you want to shoot right-handed or left-handed. The UMAT helps prevent fatigue, helps keep the officer comfortable while he's in a position. However, as well, it serves to insulate him from cold ground or hot ground, and think in summer times how hot a rooftop may be, and how during a protracted incident a police sniper might lay in position for 3, 5, 8 hours straight. To employ a UMAT, extend it, orient it generally in the direction of your target. But once you're on top of it, you can make minor traversing changes through the traversing bar, which is part of that traversing and elevating mechanism of the butt of the rifle, to make major changes of approximately 12 degrees right or left. You can use the bipod track in the front. And if you find once you're on the UMAT you have to make a major shift that exceeds it, just shift the whole mat and reorient it. Let's take a closer look at the elevation wheel and yoke. It consists of 3 components. Down here on the bottom we have the stainless steel traversing rod. On the outside here we have the aircraft grade aluminum housing grip. And on the inside we have this polymer yoke, an elevation screw which is tested shatterproof down to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This yoke or cradle holds the buttstock of your rifle. With the elevation wheel alone, you'll be able to yield perhaps 15 degrees, which is plenty of elevation for engaging targets to the maximum feasible range of your rifle, probably well over 1,000 yards in ordinary shooting circumstances. Depending upon your bipod height, you'll probably have to crank up a bit to get to 0 degrees elevation. Gary Paul Johnson of SWAT magazine reports that from just 100 yards he could adjust his bipod and get his elevation such that he could engage targets up to 3 stories high. That's at only 100 yards. The elevation flows smoothly, surprisingly smoothly, and it's fast. And the yoke is very forgiving. If your rifle should shift a bit on you, if you're recovering after recoil, you can just crank it up or down minutely and you're right back on target. But unlike a military machine gun traversing and elevating mechanism, your rifle's not locked into the UMAT. If there's a sudden shift of threat, you can instantly lift your rifle away. Now let's look at the curved bipod track. This track ends problems with uneven ground below your bipod legs. The force of recoil can dig in a bipod leg and cause canting during follow-on shots. Not only does this track end problems with soft, uneven ground, but its polymer bottom allows smooth tracking of moving targets that's simply impossible with the legs on bare ground. And what this translates to distance-wise is that you've got 10 degrees right or left on that track, and at 100 yards you can track a target for 50 feet. Let's look at the linear frontages you can actually cover using the UMAT. With this traversing bar alone, it's about 8 degrees, 4 degrees right or left. That is an angular width similar to what you'd see as a field of view through a 7 by 35 pair of binoculars, or at 100 yards, that's 42 feet. Using this traversing bar alone is easy. It's almost unnoticeable because it's being done with your non-shooting hand and there's almost no shift in your body. Now remember, the bipod track as well allows about 20 degrees of total traversing as well. At 100 yards, this equals 35 yards or about 100 feet. Now think of it this way. As a police sniper, you can cover a linear front about 3 storefronts wide at 100 yards, or from across an urban street about 50 yards, you can cover 50 feet, a width about twice as wide as a single family home. Now taking both the traversing bar and the bipod track into consideration, the lateral frontage you can cover is about 150 feet at 100 yards. That is so wide a front that you can confidently cover a whole fire sector just from this mat. There's one other UMAT feature to show you, a little one, but it makes all the difference in the world, this rubber gripper strip. It's forward pressure from your bipod legs onto this strip that anchors your rifle in your shoulder. Let me show you. Appreciate how it all anchors together. Place the rifle butt in your shoulder, lean well into it so that the bipod legs are firmly engaged by the gripper strip. And now, with that rock-steady hold, crank up the elevation precisely to your target and squeeze it off. By leaning your shoulder into the butt and anchoring the bipod legs into that gripper strip, there are 3 beneficial effects. First, there's less felt recoil because that rifle is firmly and properly in your shoulder. Second, because the rifle is already well shouldered, the shooting hand is less tense because you don't have to apply backward pressure with it. And therefore you're going to have better trigger control. And third, you're so firmly anchored that an errant, stressful finger can jerk the trigger but not jerk the whole rifle. That's why the UMAT was developed. And shifting sideways on the gripper strip is fast too. Just ease the pressure back to disengage from the gripper strip, slide the bipod legs right or left, then push forward again, and you're anchored solid. Remember, this is the ultimate Marksman accuracy mat, and it really lends itself to other kinds of marksmanship applications as well. For instance, let's say you're testing hand loads on range or zeroing a rifle. Well, the UMAT provides a kind of precision that lends itself well to minimize the human element under such exacting shooting circumstances. This UMAT provides the stability and precision adjustments you need for long-range prairie dog shooting as well. And this light gray color really helps reduce the heat from the sun's rays. The UMAT also lends itself well to long-range shooting against elusive animals and animals with keen senses such as predators, coyotes, fox, brush wolves, where you need the precision to make a long-range shot. The ultimate marksmanship accuracy mat is compact, lightweight, and fast to deploy. Its closed-cell foam provides excellent insulation from heat and cold and helps keep a shooter comfortable during protracted incidents. The bipod track eliminates problems from soft ground or uneven ground and from recoil digging in your bipod legs and causing canting. The track's smooth polymer bottom makes for smooth tracking of moving targets. And the UMAT solidly anchors the rifle and allows exacting adjustments for elevation and windage. But more than anything else, the UMAT accomplishes what its designer, Josef Zwiefried, intended. Solid aiming despite muscle tremors and breathing and the stress of a real-world situation. You'll never be steadier or your rifle anchored better than with this, the ultimate marksman accuracy map.